Why are there so many crazy women involved in the gaming industry? They all hate men. They're literally in an industry where the majority of the demographic is men. It's always been that way. Now, sure, there's girl gamers out there. And honestly, it doesn't matter what gender a gamer is. Gamers are gamers in my book. But these people are political activists that are absolutely out to get men. They have an agenda for men. This was a couple days ago, but the GDC advisor, Marina Díez, was exposed by Smash JT and several others for old tweets shit talking white men. And this echoes the same sentiments as Alyssa Mercante, Rebecca Valentine, Kim Belair, you name it. If they're a wokey and they're in the gaming industry, they all hate men. This isn't some right wing grift. This isn't some bullshit conspiracy. This is all evidence. This is why they all go into protected tweets when they get called out, and they wonder why that there's so many vile comments made towards them, because these people are insufferable. They're very hateful. They're the tolerant intolerant. So he made this article saying her controversial remarks are a broken window into the current state of the gaming industry. Ever notice how these major industry news outlets never expose these people? It's because they're all in bed. Even the guys that work as gaming journalists hate men as well. It's fucking wild how deep this rabbit hole goes. And I don't know why these political activists are so hyper focused on the gaming industry, but it's like they want to use games to inject and infect and poison everything with their DEI politics, their narratives, their ideologies. I have no clue why, but they're failing. Look at Concord, look at Dustborn, look at everything. Well, anyways, we're going to talk about this because some of the sentiments that he shares in this article, I share as well. Like, for example, he says, I'm constantly impressed by the sheer amount of awful human beings that continue to infiltrate the game industry. At times, it feels limitless. And yeah, I mean, if you go to his Kotaku Detected page, it's all people that are awful human beings in there. And he said there's a now deleted post on her now private Twitter where she basically made statements targeting white men. I mean, look at this right here. I went from thinking I'm a shitty designer to consult and train teams at one of the biggest game companies in the world. Keep believing in yourself and fuck white men and gatekeepers. So this was made in 2015. Exposed, called out. Do these people not think that there's consequences for their actions? They get mad when we say stuff like faggot and fag and gay and retard, and they call us racist and bigots. But no, they have full reign on saying fuck white men and everything like that. And if you really think that this is what a rational person thinks and acts like, especially when they're a professional in an industry, you're out of your fucking mind and you're lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. These I don't know what it is. Maybe it's their professors that taught all of them to think like this, but these women are not right in the head. And this is not me hating women, okay? You cannot sit here and honestly say that this is a normal person, that this person's not unhinged, to where it's like their life goal to stick it to men. And more females are getting like this because they're taught by the professors to hate men, to hate white men, to hate straight white men because we're the colonizers and all this crap. And you can see she says, not all white men suck, but you know what I mean, my loves. Oh, yeah, we definitely know. So, of course, Grums called her out, saying DEI policies in AAA game devs allow people to fail upwards, resulting in self-admitted shitty designer promoted to training game teams as a consultant. This is where game consultants come from. Also, she thinks most of you suck. So basically calling her out for what it is. She basically is a DEI hire, a promotion for DEI. They're only getting their job because they're part of the narrative. That's exactly what he's calling it out, right? Now, there are additional screenshots on this article from the Park Place that capture Diaz's statements where basically she's insane. And it's not just because they hate white men and it's an isolated thing. It's just it's a this person's not alone is what I'm saying. Her colleagues, again, like I mentioned, people from Kotaku, Detected, and all that, they all think and act this way. Even the men. Like, look at this. Growing my abs to crush nuts and obnoxious white men with them. They wonder why they get target harassed on social media. And I'm not even a white dude. But this is like absolutely cringe. It's literally like, he says it right here, makes you wonder what happened to her in her personal life to hate white men this much, as there's a lot of harbored anger pent up inside of her. And honestly, I think a lot of that is because a lot of these girls, like Mercante, for example, are promiscuous. They promote themselves as slutty, and they live these free, progressive, modern feminist lives where they tattoo themselves up and pierce their noses and fuck like anything that walks, whether it's a man or a woman. They're going to be single and alone when they get older. They don't think they're going to be, but these people believe into things like polygamy and not actually having like traditional values, because that goes against the modern feminist way of thinking, because it adds to the patriarch. Like, they're all fucking retarded. They're all retarded. And you can see that she's saying, why white men over 40, for being somehow generous, are allergic to saying the word diversity. It's not that we're allergic to the word diversity. It's that we're allergic to your bullshit that you guys spew, the nonsense that you guys try to push. And it's like you guys are so snowflakey that you trigger everybody else with how you try to virtue signal and grandstand with all your bullshit onto everybody else. That's why I call out wokeness. That's why I call it out. And you can see her Three of Cups game site describes the company as an ethical, diverse, and inclusive game studios based in the UK. But then they have a manifesto that is just nuts, basically, that they believe in diversity and inclusivity, are essential to creating great games, are committed to creating a workplace where everyone feels valued and respected, regardless of their, all the usual bull crap, right? That they want to use games as a tool for social change. It's just, these guys don't give a shit about making video games. They do not give a shit about making video games, guys. Instead, they want to make companies and organizations that are having literal manifestos that are basically cult-like, that want to promote this toxic positivity environment that like a studio like Firewalk Studios had, where Concord crashed and burned and failed and wasted $400 million. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's projection. Like, they're miserable. And then they say that we're the incels that are miserable. We make videos and grift off of stuff that we hate. When these people are constantly trying to change things so it could fit into their woke ideology, instead of just worrying about entertaining people. And then they attack white men on top of it. Like, she's fucking nuts. She is psycho, right? You can see, like, look at this. My highlight of the year, yes, we're only in March, but is Breaking Bahia attending official GDC. Bahia is one of the people I admire and respect the most in this industry, and we need more people like her to kick the old white privileged asses. Like, that's their whole goal. That's what makes people like Marina feel like they have something to live for, because if she wasn't sitting here spewing bullshit like this, she wouldn't have anything to live for. She honestly would not feel special. And that's why all these activists attach labels, whether it's a gender pronoun, whether it's something that makes them feel like they're some kind of oppressed minority, their little flags in their bios and all their crap. They only do it so that they feel that they have something worth living for. They can never just be a talented person that's good at their job, that makes entertaining games, that has an audience that they give their opinions for. They have to be part of an echo chamber. They have to have a label attached, and they have to attack people that don't agree with them, like white privileged man. And right here, he said that, they have to create a divided fucking community. Look at this right here. Organize a spontaneous little meetup in Berlin for marginalized game developers. It's been amazing. Hope to do this more often. And Somebody says, I was so, oh my God, Marina, I love this. And she goes, I was so tired of so many cis white men at meetups. So they deliberately made a meetup to stick it to white men. Like that's their goal. Instead of just saying, hey, we had good fun and talked over good ideas and we got good games and ideas planned out to entertain people. They're more focused on sticking it to white men. These women are crazy. Again, like I said, they're either going to be dating somebody that refers to them as partner instead of spouse or girlfriend or wife. They're going to be dating guys that are easily cucked into polygamous relationships, guys that have no masculine qualities to them, or they're going to be single old cat ladies. Pick your poison, guys. Either way, let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe if you're brand new. This lady's nuts.